So our next speaker is also part of this quantified self-measurement movement. He's CEO of Withings, and you may. So who owns these body scales of Withings? Ah, okay. And they just pushed out a new product last week. It measures your O2 level in the blood. So please welcome Cedric Hutchings.
Hello, everybody. So thanks a lot for the invitation. So I really like and enjoyed the last presentation, maybe except the example on the French sleeping too much. So you might hear I'm from France. But except this, I really liked it because the title of the conference is Internet of Things, but we did not hear too much about technology. We heard about data, meanings, and action, and behavioral change. And that's what really where Withings is at. And just a word on this Internet of Things. I think we are living a very short period where we see conference on the Internet of Things. I think a couple of years from now, we will absolutely not talk about Internet of Things. There has been some disruption. When electricity arrived, we spoke about the first product to be electrified. But as a matter of fact, I think that a lot of devices will gain so much more services and so much more feature by being connected that it will be granted and really a commodity. So last example is today, if you go and buy a tablet, you do not even ask if there is Wi-Fi or connectivity. It's granted. If not, that will be quite useless. And I think that what we are doing and the kind of devices, applications that we are doing fall really in this category. That will go, much beyond this, maybe technological focus that we have today. So Withings is focused on the connected health revolution. And in a few minutes, I would like to share with you how we see the evolution from what's been talked a lot in the past couple of years, which is quantified self, and we heard in the former presentation as well. But there is a revolution and a shift that we think we are building with many other companies from this quantified self era, personal health, personal wellness, toward a really revolution in the healthcare and the health system. So that's what we are building. So Withings today is designing devices and applications that help us live healthier life, understand where we are, and change our behavior. So we both founders come from the telecom industry. So when we created Withings in 2008, we really developed, I would say, the whole chain at once. We think that a connected device is a device that comes obviously with a connectivity technology, but with some platform, some seamless way to convey the information, to render it into application. And we started in 2008 with the first ever connected scale, which is, again, for me, it's what will be expecting from a scale. So a device that you step on from time to time. Then each time that you step on it, it does, of course, display your weight, but it records this information, graph it, render it in terms of with additional insights in your pockets, and maybe, and we'll see afterwards, share it if you chose to with some third party, because you will manage your weight and a lot of aspects of our health very differently. So I would say today it's a useful scale, and tomorrow there will be only a useful scale. So we developed a range of devices over the years that together build first a dashboard of our health around the way we manage weight, but the way we also manage our fitness activity, our heart health, so with blood pressure monitoring, with blood oxygen level sensors, and finally our sleep. And I will give you our view on how we manage this sensing our sleep, which is a bit different from what we saw before. So speaking about health, and I will be very quick on this, we do not lack knowledge. All the things that are here are pretty much common knowledge. We have a lot of communication. In fact, prevention in most of our countries relies maybe only on communication. We see TV ads reminding us that we need to eat 5 veggies or fruits a day, then 10,000 steps is a good number a day to keep good health. So we do not lack common knowledge. We lack action upon this knowledge. And I like to compare it with how we drive a car today. Today, if we were proposed to drive a car without a dashboard, at least we will not feel comfortable, not knowing how much fuel there is before taking the road. And maybe we will not feel safe, not knowing our speed, etc. And I think that regarding our health, what we are building today is a dashboard that will be seen as very necessary tomorrow to understand where we are and just to be comfortable and feel safe. So where we started with is developing an application that provides this 360 dashboard on what has been my physical activity, the quality of my sleep, health of my heart, how do I manage some weight evolution, and all that is enriched, this application, with coaching experience, so meaning weekly reports, detection of specific activity. So we know, if you have been climbing stairs instead of taking elevators. We know if you've been into running, and this is automatically detected with the sensors, the product we develop. And we provide some insight, and we bring a lot of ways to motivate ourselves to slightly change our behavior. This can come through some coaching, and this can come through competition. So we can set some goals with friends and compare our activity level week over week. So there are many ways to motivate ourselves to change our behavior. And we think that having this information and comprehensive information in our pocket daily can change the way we relate to our health. What is very common today is that we take big decisions, maybe early in the year, maybe before the summer because we see the beach approaching, but we never stick long to a big resolution. What we like is a constant update on where we are, and really some guardian angel to help us take small decisions and achieve small goals, but accumulate these goals towards positive trends. So what we build is really go away from these big decisions that we drop after a few weeks. We enrich, and I will not go more into details, but we enrich our coaching and motivation tools with partners, so you can choose to share your data with a third-party application and services and get, again, the experience that you expect or that will motivate you. So we think that it's what we do and what Jobon is doing and others really represent a big innovation, and I like to compare it with Toothpaste, which was, beyond communication, a very simple tool with a brush that brings action, daily action for prevention in our daily life. But what really changed the equation is that all the dashboard that I've been presenting to you is updated seamlessly. It's very important. Most of us do not want to take the time to update or log this information. Maybe it was part of the quantified self era. I met with very fun guys who were quantifying the level of trust or confidence into his girlfriend, in an Excel spreadsheet, etc. I think that it is not what most of us are ready to do, but we want, very simple and, if possible, beautiful device that belongs to our environment, that do not speak for sickness. We want beautiful device that, in fact, will help us be in better shape, will make it into our daily environment for long term. So we develop these devices. So this scale looks like a scale. We hope it to be an attractive scale, but does much more than that. It measures weight, body fat, your heart rate. And just take this example, having an evolution, the trend of the evolution of your resting heart rate on the morning is a very meaningful data to check on your health evolution. Although we can know that, we absolutely do not take the time to measure our heart rate, write it down, and graph it. But if we can embed such sensors in our existing routine, so when you step from time to time on the scale, we record the heart rate, we graph the information, and you have it in your pocket. Again, we change the level of awareness of where we are, and we can drive some insight and show some correlation. So we do this very advanced scale. We do some wireless blood pressure monitoring. again, it is obvious to connect blood pressure. Why? Because taking your blood pressure at the doctor premises, first is very biased. Some people will be very stressed being in front of a white jacket, and it's a single measurement of something that fluctuates a lot. So a very common recommendation is to equip yourself with a blood pressure, take the measure in very similar situation, on the long term, and check on this evolution. Write the numbers, make some average, and provide it to your doctors next time you see him. What I've been describing is done automatically with such device. You wrap it, you take a measurement. You're even reminded to take a measurement, and all what I've been describing is done automatically. So we developed this kind of sensors on activity, on the blood oxygen, and just want to stop on the sensors that will assess sleep. So same way that we are looking into devices that make themselves forgotten in our daily life, because it's the only way we will use it for a long time. When we are interested in assessing our sleep quality, you see this pad. This pad goes under the mattress, because we think that the only way to measure our sleep for a long time is with the bed. The bed should be sensible of our sleep, and I think really it's the only way. It will not be by wearing any kind of device on our head or around our arm. So it should be as seamless as possible, and actually as accurate as possible. So this kind of device measures not only the motion, but up to the heart rate continuously during the night. So we have a very clear picture of what is good or maybe less good about our sleep. Do we go through a full cycle, including REM, which is the phase where our brain does rest? If you suffer with some sleep apnea or respiration issue, you might have deep sleep, and assessing emotion, think that you sleep well, but in fact you will feel very stressed, very demoralized, and then it has some effect on our health because we do not dream. This kind of device can measure if we are dreaming through our sleep. So we think that these devices change our behavior, and we start to assessing it. So we have a lot of data on the impact of our devices. And first question, of course, is beyond data and meanings, is does it drive action, or does it change our behavior? It does with the majority of our users. It does above what they expect when they discover what we are doing. And we add a lot of metrics on how does the fact that you are setting goals affect the way you are managing your weight after 6 months, after 1 year. So I will go very quickly to it and just conclude that the revolution in health is the fact that today most of the people answering the street who is taking care of our health are answering, it's my doctor. And we think that more and more we will answer, well, I am taking care of my health, and with the help of my doctor. And that's a revolution in the healthcare, is the fact that thanks to some sensors, again, that are part of our daily lives, that are consumer device, but very relevant in terms of data gathering, we have our own dashboard, so we can drive our health in a very different way. We can relate to doctors in very different manners. So bringing history to our doctors when something gets wrong, change the way he can help you. And finally, we are collectively generating a totally new kind of content. And the former presentation made it very clear that for the first time, we can analyze correlation for millions of evolution of weight compared to blood pressure monitoring. I get some pressure here. Blood pressure monitoring, sleep quality. So it really changed the way we will generate insights. And if I take my blood pressure now, but it's really over. So it's really, I want to leave you with this sentence that really captures what is happening, is that it's really a consumer-driven revolution. I did not talk about remote health, telemedicine. I think that they are very old ways to redefine the way we manage our health. It is not about pushing a piece of hospital out in our homes. Nobody wants that when you have the choice. It's about having a sensible environment made of wearables and stationary devices that will make us much more smarter in the way we manage health. Sorry. Thank you, Johan. Thanks for your passion. Thank you.